look like this. These are actually supposed to be like little porthole windows on a ship, because on a ship, this is the view you would look out to see the ocean. So the visual of viewing through this goes with point of view. For these pages in coloring, the coloring is probably the most important part, because you have to coordinate your coloring from the types of point of view to the examples of literature to the definition of each type of point of view. So we're going to be really specific here, and we do want you to use these 5 colors, because again, we're also going to use these 5 colors when we do our pronoun practice, just to really ingrain in you the 5 different types. So first person will always be red, and you'll notice we've colored the title red. We've circled the pronouns in the literature example red. On the flow chart, first person is red, and the definition of first person, we did our underlining of critical terms in red. So we are all going to provide on the screen, or you can pause the video here, what these 2 sheets look like. So we want you to take a couple minutes. It's going to take you a little bit, but we want you to go ahead and color all of these pieces. But you need to make sure that they match the example we provided. And then again, like third person limited is green. So it's green, 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 green. So it has to be colored the same across the board. So this is when you would pause the video. There will be an example up on the screen as well of these colors. You can pause your video and right here and look at it, but take a couple minutes and go ahead and color all of these 2 pages. Okay, so when you're done coloring, you will cut them all out, and you will have like this. You don't have to cut them out perfectly, but you will have 5 titles. You will have 5 pieces of literature with examples, and then you will also have 5 definitions. Now it should be easy, and you'll have a flow chart. So it should be easy to assemble, because you want to make sure you assemble it according to the color. The other thing that we're going to be careful about is when we assemble is we're going to put it on the page typically in the order first, second person, third person. So we're going to go to the page right next to our pronoun page, but we're going to assemble, and we actually have to fill the whole page. We're not going to put a title here. We're going to save the title for last and kind of fit it in where it fits, because here's what you have to do. So you're going to take all of the pieces that are red. So I've got 3 pieces that are red, and we're going to assemble these like flaps, one on top of the other. Definition on the bottom, then the text, then this. But I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner, because I'm going to go first person, second, third, 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 and then we'll get our title in here somewhere. I think I might be able to leave a little room at the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to do all the reds, so I don't accidentally put a green with a blue, and then that's going to mess up your notes. So I'm just going to put 4 little dots of glue on the back of this definition card, and then so we're going to put that all the way down. And then the example, if you look really closely, there's a dotted line right here. So I'm actually just going to create a little tab on that dotted line, and then that's the only place I'm going to put glue. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that tab, and then I want to make sure that I don't glue the tab over my definition. I want to go over here to the left. So I'm going to make sure I kind of line up this dotted line with the edge of my definition, because some of you tend to, you glue over and you cover this important information, which we don't want to do that. So there's my first flap. And then again, this one also has a dotted line. We're going to do the same thing. Kind of fold that forward. I'm going to put a little glue on it. And this one will overlap that second one exactly. So then here's what we have. We have first person. We have an example of how first person uses first person pronouns. You'll see I's. And then here, the narrator is telling the story. So in first person, the narrator is in the story. They're typically the protagonist. We only know what this character thinks and sees. And we're going to see first person pronouns. I, me, my, we, etc. So that's how each of these work. So then we would go to second person and we would grab orange, orange, orange. And then we're going to go right across and do that exact same thing. We're going to glue the definition down. Make sure you have plenty of space here. And then we're going to fold, put a little bit of glue right here. And then I'm going to make sure I glue that beyond my definition so I can still see it. Fold, like so. And then we have our second person. Make sure that you read the example. Second person uses the pronoun you. This is a very, very uncommon point of view. You're going to get lots of practice with point of view. So then you will just go ahead and continue with the rest. I would say third person omniscient would end up right there in the middle. Third person limited here. Third person objective here. And then you should be able to, if you left some room at the top, put your title there. The last piece, so go ahead and you can pause the video, go ahead and finish gluing so your page is complete like this. And then on this other side, we have a point of view flowchart. I'll go ahead and just give it a quick light frame and stick it down. Basically what this chart does, and you're going to use this in your practice, it says do not look at dialogue. So when we are figuring out point of view, we never look at dialogue because inside quotation marks, even though the person is not the narrator, they might say I, me, we, because it's in quotes. Never look at dialogue. So you have to find text outside of dialogue. Is the narrator a character in the story? Check for I, me, and my. If you find I's, me's, and my's outside of dialogue, yes, the narrator is a character. It's first person, automatically. Okay? No, well then we have to keep asking questions. Check for you, your, yours. Are they there? Does it sound like the narrator is telling about you? Yes. Well, it's second person. If you see any yous and yours, it's second person. No. Then we go to the 3 third persons. This is where kids gonna get confused, so I'll walk you through it. So this is where not only do you have to look at pronouns, because all of the pronouns for third person are going to be the same. They are all going to be he, she, they, them. They're all going to be third person pronouns. What you actually have to look for in third person is you have to see if you know the inner thoughts and feelings of all of the characters, none of the characters, or just one of the characters. So if you know all of the feelings, the narrator is inside the head and heart of every single character. You know how Mia feels, you know how Destiny feels, you know how everybody feels, you know what they're thinking. That's third person omniscient. The word omniscient means all-knowing. So even though it's he, she, you have to look how many characters' thoughts and feelings do I know? If it's everybody, it's omniscient. If it's just one, if you're looking through and you're like, you know what, really? The only person I really know what they're thinking is just one character. However, that character is not the narrator. It's not first person. The narrator is outside the story, telling the story through one character's thoughts and feelings. That is third person limited, meaning just one. If you're noticing, you know what, I don't know anybody's thoughts and feelings. Really, it feels like the narrator is simply telling me what's being done without revealing anyone's thoughts and feelings. That is objective. It's kind of like a news story where they're like, the girl was sitting by the bus came by, the bus didn't pick her up, she cried. Like, it's just saying what is happening. That's objective. So this is where it can get a little tricky, and it comes down to how many of the characters' feelings do you know? So over the next couple of days, we are going to be doing several different point of view practices so you can get good at finding the pronoun and determining the point of view.